Hi everyone, and welcome to Mysterious Lost. Today I'm going to be talking about the missing person cases in Joshua Tree National Park. Let's begin with William Michael Ewasko. Bill Ewasko was a 66-year-old man from Marietta, Georgia, who went missing in Joshua Tree National Park on June 24, 2010. Ewasko had recently retired from the Army and was an experienced hiker who enjoyed exploring national parks. In the summer of 2010, he decided to take a solo trip out west to visit several parks in California and Nevada. On June 24th, Ewasko drove his rented white Chrysler Sebring from his home in Georgia to Joshua Tree National Park. According to his girlfriend, Mary Winston, he called her that morning in high spirits, excited to begin his hike. His plan was to do a loop trail, starting from Carey's Castle, an historic mining site deep in the park. Carey's Castle is considered so fragile that park maps do not include it, making it an isolated off-trail destination. That afternoon, when Ewasko did not return from his hike or check in as planned, Mary became worried. She tried calling the park the next day, but they had already closed for the evening. On June 26th, she reported Ewasko missing to rangers at Joshua Tree. Rangers began searching the Carey's Castle area, but found no sign of the missing hiker. Park officials were initially optimistic. They would find Ewasko quickly. As a fit veteran, he was likely better equipped than the average lost tourist. However, the search soon escalated into a massive operation. Ewasko's rental car was located in the Juniper Flats parking lot, but no other clues were found. Helicopters, search dogs, and over 1,000 volunteers combed the park. A red bandana, believed to be Ewasko's, was the only item recovered. As days turned to weeks, with no trace of the missing man, theories began to emerge. Some believed Ewasko, an experienced outdoorsman, intentionally vanished. His girlfriend Mary doubted this, saying he seemed happy and had no reason to disappear. Rangers explored the possibility he became disoriented or injured in the remote backcountry. With summer heat over 100 degrees, dehydration or heat stroke could have been fatal. The search was officially called off after 10 days, though volunteers continued independent efforts. One such searcher was Michael Mahood, who became obsessed with the case. He pored over cell phone records and maps, determining a possible last location for Ewasko. Records showed his phone at a tower near Upper Covington Flat on June 27, 3 days after he vanished. After nearly 12 years, hikers at Joshua Tree National Park finally found Ewasko's remains on Tuesday, February 8, 2022, in the northwestern corner of the Joshua Tree Park adjacent to the Panorama Loop Trail, and where the Bigfoot and Panorama Loop trails connect. According to Park Superintendent David A. Smith, the remains were old and were being investigated as a homicide by the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. Smith said, I think that any unnatural death is investigated as a homicide if there is no other evidence. They are looking at any evidence they found at the site to determine who the person is. High Desert Radio Station reported that a wallet was found with the remains with the name of Bill Ewasko, but the station did not say how it learned that. Mara Rodriguez of the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department said the Specialized Investigation Division recovered human remains and the investigation were ongoing. We have no confirmation of who the deceased is and will not be releasing any information about the identity until our coroner's division has completed their process and the next of kin has been notified. Tom Mahood said that he had researched the GPS tracking of the sheriff's helicopter that responded to the report of remains found And he said if the remains are confirmed to be Ewasko's, it's a really odd area for him to have been in. And I can't fathom what he was thinking. I always said, he'll eventually be found in some place. No one ever thought he would be. While we now know the conclusion, we may likely never know any details unless Bill left behind any surviving notes as to his predicament. Next case about Lauren Cho. On June 28, 2021, 30-year-old Lauren Cho went missing from the Yucca Valley area of Southern California's Morongo Basin. Cho, who went by the name L, had been staying at an Airbnb rental home in the nearby town of Joshua Tree. She had a history of struggling with her mental health. On the morning of the 28th, Cho sent a text to a friend saying she was going for a hike in the nearby desert hills. When she didn't return or answer her phone, her friends grew concerned. They filed a missing persons report that evening. A massive search effort was launched, involving over 100 volunteers combing the rugged desert terrain for any sign of Cho. The search proved extremely challenging due to the remote, mountainous landscape dotted with deep canyons and washes. Temperatures during the summer months routinely exceed 100 degrees. There's very little shade or sources of water across the vast, undeveloped areas. Cho was last seen wearing a yellow t-shirt and jean shorts, which would provide little protection from the brutal heat. As the days turned to weeks with no trace of Cho found, hope began to fade. Investigators were puzzled by her disappearance, as she left her wallet and personal belongings behind at the Airbnb. It seemed unlikely she intended to be gone long. Her family and friends were left devastated, clinging to hope but fearing the worst. In November, a rancher discovered partial human remains scattered across his property, located approximately 5 miles from where Cho was last seen. Dental records later confirmed it was Cho. However, questions still lingered around the cause and manner of her death. The condition and location of the remains made it difficult to determine if she had died by foul play, accident, or suicide. To this day, Lauren Cho's loved ones are still seeking answers. While her body was found, closure remains elusive without understanding what exactly happened to her during those final days in the high desert. Her case highlights the dangers of the unforgiving wilderness, as well as serving as a reminder that even short hikes can turn tragic when mental health issues go unaddressed. Her memory lives on in the hearts of all whose lives she touched. The next case about Erika Lloyd. On June 25, 2021, 33-year-old Erika Lloyd went missing from the remote community of Joshua Tree, California. Lloyd, a resident of the small high desert town, had a history of struggles with mental health and substance abuse issues. That fateful Friday, Lloyd told her mother she was going for a drive to clear her head. When night fell and she hadn't returned, her family grew alarmed. They reported her missing to the Morongo Basin Sheriff's Station. Deputies began searching washes and back roads around Joshua Tree, but found no sign of Lloyd or her Jeep. The rugged terrain posed immense challenges for search crews. Flash floods can suddenly transform dry riverbeds into raging torrents, and the scorching heat is punishing. Lloyd had no charged cell phone or supplies. As days passed with no leads, investigators expanded their focus area. Drones surveyed the landscape while volunteers distributed missing person flyers in surrounding communities. Lloyd's family and friends were left desperate for answers. Her struggles with addiction and mental illness fueled theories she may have intentionally disappeared or met with foul play. But the complete absence of any clues to her whereabouts was equally concerning. without a single confirmed sighting or piece of evidence. The investigation seemed to hit a dead end. Erica was very stressed about the pandemic and the quarantine, and despite the fact that she was not an experienced camper, she was planning on going camping for a few days to sort of unplug. The most accurate information about Erica's disappearance can be found on the Bring Erica Home Facebook page. The following is an excerpt from a comment written by Erica's mom on that page. There have been many stories of Erica from various podcasts and in the forum world, which are some of the efforts that were made to locate Erica. There were search teams from the sheriff's department that continued to search further and further out from the location of her car. Doug Billings, an expert at mapping and a cave diver, has extensive knowledge of the mines in the area. He's done numerous searches with the help of his friends, family members, and other groups that have assisted in the searching. Banners and a billboard inquiring if someone helped Erica on June 16th were posted in key spots in the Wonder Valley neighborhood. Erica's aunts have distributed hundreds of flyers to homeless shelters, hospitals, and food banks in areas such as 29 Palms, Joshua Tree, Yucca, Valley Palm, Springs, Desert Springs, Indio, Coachella, Riverside, Morongo, Basin, Ontario, Los Angeles, San Diego, Venice Beach, as well as other locations. Erica's mother continues by stating, "We are continuing our research on alternative communities such as Slab City and Amboy. Police investigators from the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, as well as the Walnut Creek Police Department, are currently actively looking into the case." The investigation into the case continued following Erica's disappearance, even though there were no substantial leads until January of 2021. As the brother of Erica Lloyd, I would like to address the public on behalf of our family. On January 31st, 2021, human remains were discovered by hikers in the vicinity of Danby Road and Amboy Road in Wonder Valley, California. This was posted on the Facebook page by Erica's brother in February of 2021. My heart is heavy as I make this announcement. But the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department has positively identified the remains in question as those of my sister, Erica. There's no simple way for me to relay all of this information to you, and there's no simple way for any of us to take it in. My hope is that we will be able to support one another by leaning in a bit closer, picking one another up, and reminding one another more frequently that we are here for one another with open arms and unending love. This is what she would have wanted in her final days. It embodies the essence of who she used to be. On the 12th of May in 2021, Erica's family updated the Bring Erica Home Facebook page with another post. Citing this here, the family of Erica Lloyd would like to share some recent information with you. The Special Investigative Unit of the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department has informed us that they will no longer be handling Erica's case. After reviewing the extensive investigation that was done on Erica's disappearance, they have not found any indication of foul play. As a result, Erica's case will be turned back over to the investigators at the Morongo Basin Station for any remaining follow-up and information from everything the investigators learned and everything we found out from our first trip. It has been difficult to comprehend how Erica, who was a free spirit, hard worker, and independent, loving mother, could have suffered a sudden mental psychotic breakdown. One co-worker was so concerned about Erica on June 10th, 6 days before she went missing, that she dropped by Erica's apartment to check up on her and spent a couple of hours talking to her. It was the following day when Erica took off on a road trip. It has also been challenging to comprehend how she could. Losing contact with reality is a hallmark of psychosis, which is connected with a number of serious mental diseases. However, if stress is allowed to build up to an unhealthy level, anybody can experience these symptoms, which can lead to a breakdown. Erika was coping with the lockdown, while also learning how to take care of her son in the new environment of staying in place. Additionally, the successful Blossom Hair Salon that she owned and operated in Alamo, California, was being forcibly shut down. Erika was no longer in control, and the voices she heard had taken over her thoughts. As a family, we are heartbroken over the loss of our Erika. Losing personal contact with the clients whose weddings and proms were canceled and trying to make some sense of understanding where our society was going, this was overwhelming to her and pushed her over the edge and into a break. We know there were possibly missed opportunities to stop and help Erika before she slipped away and wandered out into the desert, but at this point, it's unknown if any person or persons could have made a difference in stopping or helping her. Despite this, we accept what happened to Erika and know she was in the storm of her life. Joshua Tree National Park is said to have a mystical appeal and is said to have a healing effect on people. Nearly 2 months later, on August 20th, a hiker in a remote area of Joshua Tree National Park made a grisly discovery. Partially buried remains were spotted near a dry riverbed, later identified through dental records as Erica Lloyd. While the coroner ruled her death accidental, likely from exposure, her loved ones are still seeking closure. Lloyd's case underscores the immense dangers that can lurk even in areas appearing benign on the surface.